Here we go. All right. So once again, welcome everyone to this last Friday of July, pretty close to the 30th. And yeah, practice goes on. So I would just like to say that I'm Debbie Darrin, and I'm filling in for Kevin as he is overseas for this last month, and he'll be returning next week. I'm sure everyone is looking forward to that. I've missed his energy myself. It's also wonderful to be able to support each other in practice in so many different ways, and I'm humbly honored and happy to help in facilitating Darrin recovery occasionally when Kevin needs, and he's got a great team, and it's wonderful to be part of that. So before we begin, I would like to just ask if there are any people here for the first time. You can either raise your virtual hand. Hi, Scott. Welcome. Welcome.
I think. Yeah, I've been Tuesday, but not Friday before.
Okay. Yeah, I thought I had recognized you. So yeah, welcome back. Welcome back. It's nice to have options. Schedules vary and we're coming and going, but it's nice to touch base when we can with our mindfulness practice and Sangha and recovery practice in unity community. So welcome. So the format of this meeting is generally starting with about a 20-minute meditation, and I will be guiding us in a little bit, and probably kind of as we're moving through the meditation, I might drop in an inquiry here and there along the way as well. And yes, it is for about 20 minutes. Let me get my timer here. And then after that, I'll just offer some thoughts on Dharma and recovery for contemplation, and then at the end we'll have time for any inquiries or reflections, whatever might be showing up, to be shared with the group. And so yes, let us begin. And I'll begin with the ringing of a bell, and at the end closing with 3 bells. So I invite you to really, with an open heart, acknowledge and receive your presence right where you are this evening, or this afternoon, or this morning, wherever you may be. And just feeling that you're really here, feeling the sense of the body. The Buddha always invited us to begin our mindfulness practice sensing into the body, knowing that it is here now, and doing so by opening our awareness to sensations, the sensation of mass, maybe the sensation of tactile feelings, your feet on the ground, clothing on the body. Maybe you're noticing you're here because of sound that may be in the environment that you are in. Maybe it's awareness of the sound of my voice. Maybe it's the awareness of the space or the gaps between sound. and sensing into any aromas that may be wafting in your space. Maybe a remnant flavor or taste on the tongue or in the mouth. Maybe there's a sense of seeing even if the eyes are closed. In our meditative practices, we can invite our awareness more inwards, and it is supportive to close the eyes. And we can also practice with our eyes open, with a soft gaze, not focusing on anything in particular. Whatever serves the presence of now. And then we also know that we're here through this sense of the mind activity. What arises and what floats away, what may want to stick around, thoughts, sensations, emotions, planning, remembering, thinking. Welcome it all. All of this lets you know that you are here now. I invite you to draw your attention to the breath now. This breath that fills the body and flows out from the body into the spaciousness all around, all by itself. This life-giving force, one breath after the other. Allow yourself to just feel it, sense into how is the breath right now, without any effort to change anything. Just welcoming breath just the way it is, as you would welcome a friend for a visit. The practice of meditation offers us the time to come into stillness and to invite our mind and our body to let go of all the doings that have come before this moment and which will come later. And just be. Be in the stillness, inviting this unification of body and mind for a respite, a refuge. And whenever the busyness wants to come back in, acknowledge it and recognize it, and maybe offer the suggestion that you can tend to it in a little bit and invite whatever sense of restlessness arises. Welcome it to come and take a break. Sometimes it's supportive to invite the awareness or attention of the breath into the belly. A kind of soft belly breathing. Just noticing how it feels when the breath reaches the depths of the belly, expanding. And then allowing the gentle flow of the breath outwards, in and out of the belly. The practice of breathing with awareness and attention to the breath flowing in and out of the belly is grounding, and calming, and settling. Knowing that we've all come from different energies to this practice, just sense what is present this evening in general. If there is a sense of going in busyness, continue to invite the attention to the breath landing in the belly, cultivating this sense of calm and settling. If you have a ribbon here from some situation that may be difficult, painful, challenging, invite your attention of the breath to be in the heart center, the chest area. Feeling the breath as the chest rises with the inhale, and as the chest settles and calms with the exhale. Maybe sensing into this area, this heart space, where we often land when we're garnering up courage to meet difficulties. And when we also sense compassion and caring. With the in-breath, breathing in the courage, and allow compassion and caring to flow out with the out-breath. And if your energy this evening is one of tiredness, maybe it's been a long day, maybe it's been a long week, maybe you're tired, or maybe there's just a sense of dullness and not real excited about engagement. Invite your attention to rest right in front of the nostrils, at that upper lip. Allow your attention to feel and notice the breath just before it's entering into the body. And noticing how the breath feels just as it's exiting the body. This can be a challenging area for us to rest our awareness at because it is so subtle. But as we invite ourselves to do this, we're cultivating focus, engagement. We're developing concentration. All of this takes a little bit of energy. which is an antidote to sloth and torpor, dullness or tiredness. And then sometimes there comes a point where we can sense into the whole body breathing, feeling the whole body as breath enters and flows throughout it. In through the nostrils and traveling maybe like a ribbon of energy down through the core and down the legs into the very tips of the toes, feeling this ribbon of energy flowing. And maybe back up and to the shoulders and down the arms to the tips of the fingers. And once again, back upwards through the neck and maybe massaging through the internal parts of the head and exhaling, the breath flowing outwards, this ribbon of energy, of life force, once again emerging into the space all around. So for the rest of this meditation this evening, I invite you to be wherever it is in the body with your attention on this breath that is supportive for you and whatever energy is present this evening. Grounding sensations in the soft belly, compassion and courage of the heart space, enlivening energy of breath before the nostrils, and/or the aliveness of the entire body breathing. Find a place to rest your attention on the breath. And now, as we're nearing the closing of this meditation, maybe just sense into what arose for you in the practice. How is it now? Maybe noticing the nature of impermanence, comings and goings of thoughts, the difference between the beginning and the end. And sensing into the purpose of our meditation to serve the well-being of not only ourselves, but all those who are practicing here together this evening, all those who will be practicing at another time, all our loved ones, those in our communities, in our country, in our world. May our practice benefit all beings with this sense of serving, being part of the well-being of all beings in the entire planet. May all beings be safe. May all beings be well. May all beings sense happiness and joy. May all beings feel cared for. And may all beings, through the practice of awareness and mindfulness, continue the journey of freedom of suffering. May all beings be free. So as you're expanding your awareness from this contemplative practice of mindfulness, maybe invite a few deep breaths, kind of awaken and nurture the body a little bit and connection with the space you're in. And with all of those of us here practicing this evening. And maybe with an intention and a invitation of whatever benefits came up during the practice for them to kind of flow with you to wherever you're going next and into this moment. So this evening, I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about this kind of contemplative life that we live. there's a book called The Examined Life. Let me see, I can't remember the name of the author. I want to read it. The Examined Life, Wisdom for the Second Half of the Journey by James Hollis. And I feel like those of us who cultivate the practices of recovery, living a mindful and clean and sober life, choosing it moment by moment, maybe day by day, maybe, and choosing to cultivate this way of being present in the world, to really see how we are in relationship with it, in relationship with ourselves and with others, and to kind of tap into what is our intention, what is our intention as we are breathing, as we are living, as we are being in relationship. What is our intention? And how congruous are things? I remember hearing a long time ago that we will always be striving and suffering and not feeling whole until our insides match our outsides. That's another kind of contemplation, which really supported me for a long time. Recognizing, especially when I was living in my life of addiction, I could live a certain way in my daily life and do this and do that, and things looked really hunky-dory, but on the inside I was not really hunky-dory. I was not happy. I was not living true to what the appearance was. And I would kind of sink into either avoiding, escaping, or numbing things that were difficult in my life. And yet you wouldn't know it on the outside. And so that contemplation of matching our insides with our outsides really helped me in the beginning of my journey of continuing to look at what is this life all about? Why am I here? What am I doing here? Do I care enough about my own life to make changes, no matter how difficult they are? And recovery, as we know, is day to day, every day. Our mindfulness practice is something that we engage with moment to moment, day to day. I think I've said this before, maybe not in this gathering, but I can't breathe a whole bunch of breaths today to take care of tomorrow. I breathe continually. This is the moment of this breath. This is where I am. And this is not tomorrow, and it's not yesterday. So I continue to cultivate practice of awareness of what's present, through this energetic body, moment to moment. There's a quote from Shunryu Suzuki, Roshi Suzuki: "Treat every moment as your last. It is not preparation for something else." This is it, right? This is it. This is the now. This is the now. And so much I think we can easily get caught in this sense of grasping or wanting or needing or desire or craving. If only this, then I'll be happier. As soon as I get this done, yay, I will have arrived and things will be great. But that keeps us kind of rolling in this out of moment experience. We're not fully present. So can we come back to this very moment and treat it as if it's our last? There's another, I worked with a horse trainer for a while who had a lot of different philosophies, and one of his sayings was very similar to this, and it was approach every everything, every time that you're like in relationship with your horse, and this can apply to everything, whatever we're in relationship, with the attention, give it the attention as if it was the first time, your first encounter, and as if it was your last. So from a whole nother different, experiential, realm in the world, here once again is this notion. Can we be fully present right now? Can we give attention as if it was our first? When you do something for the first time, there's a lot of energy sometimes, a lot of excitement. There can also be some anxiety, but there's a lot of energy. Can we be with, kind of sense into that aliveness of energy, and then also sense into it the preciousness of what if it was the last? So can we allow ourselves to be fully engaged with whoever it is, whatever it is coming up, whatever it, whether if it's joyfulness, soak it in, enjoy it, appreciate it, and then allow it to flow out from you to others, with a sense of offering this joy and radiating it out. The Buddha talks a lot about radiating energy, radiating loving kindness, radiating compassion, radiating joy, equanimity, just letting it flow. And so when these beautiful things are here, love it, enjoy it. Don't hold on to it. Don't be greedy. Let it flow out. And then when the energies are difficult, when they're hard, to not turn away from it, to go, oh yeah, this too. There's a teaching in the Tibetan teachings about three objects, 3 poisons, and 3 seeds of virtues. And these objects are desire, like craving, aversion, and then ignorance. So those are the objects. And the poisons are oh, actually, I just got that totally mixed up. I'm sorry. I think I did that backwards. I don't want to screw this up. Sorry. So the objects are liking, yeah. So liking, and then disliking, and then not caring. So that's the object. The poison, very similar, is the desire that goes along with liking, the aversion that goes along with disliking, and then the neutrality, indifference, goes along with neutrality. So when things are challenging and when are difficult for us and we want to push them away or wish they weren't there, we can, through our mindfulness practices, kind of rest back into kind of this space between observing or perception and reaction. And in this space, we can sense into this possibility of opening, to the inquiry of what will best serve the situation. And that can offer us a response instead of a reaction. And so whatever we encounter in our life, allowing it to be there, being with it, and then taking the time, taking the moment. That's what we're cultivating when we're coming into meditation, even, is just to rest in this space, the spaciousness. We're practicing for our real life moments, knowing that we can be here, that we don't have to run away from things, we don't have to judge good or bad. We recognize what the energy is and what is being called for, to offer it a sense of being okay and well-being and healing. So this all, has to do with, kind of dipping into that examined life. When we come into recovery, when we have decided that, oh, maybe I need to let go of drinking and using, we're examining our lives. We're looking at it. We're going, what is not serving me anymore? What is not serving others? Where, is it possible that this is a problem? And so we are on the path. We are on the path of saying, okay, I'm going to try something I haven't tried before. And I feel like So much of our practice has to do with daily recollections, with taking our inventory, with waking up with a mindful intention of being present, waking up in the morning with either a prayer of whatever it is that might serve you for opening your heart space up to moving forward into your day, or a meditative practice. Asking for that something to be present for you, to help you along, and whether it is the pause, or whether it is a higher power, tapping into that when we wake up in the morning. And then throughout our days, we can kind of just tap in when we're feeling energy. Our body is our first messenger, I feel like. It's our first messenger. If you're going throughout your activities, or if you're in a conversation, or if there's a situation that's come up, or if you've gotten a phone call and it's not the greatest news, what are you feeling in your body? Is there tenseness? Is there anxiety? Is there anger? Is there sadness? What's there? And what can I offer it? What can I offer it that will be supportive? Not pushing it away, not wishing it wasn't here, but allowing it to be. It's so important to be able to do this. And we open ourselves up to this. We find this invitation through recovery programs, through the 12 steps, through at different times, a different step is being called for. We are opening ourselves up to what's being called for now. And can I use the tools that I have to engage with whatever it is? So, throughout the day, take a pause. What's coming up? What can I offer it? Do I need a respite? Do I need to take a few breaths? Do a little practice of regrouping? Can I make an inquiry, to whatever it is that's coming my way? How can I help you? What's needed right now? To be a friend to the situation, not to be an aversion. So, a lot of times what really, really supports us is being able to be in that space between what we're experiencing and the response. And that's what we're cultivating in this practice, which is really a wonderful thing to do in a formal way of practicing, and then also to bring it into our daily life. So something I've been doing over this last year, and I just want to kind of put this out because it's front and center, and it's really helping me live my life in a really moment-to-moment awareness. I've been doing this course through Spirit Rock with Vinnie Ferrara and Frank Ostosaki, and it's called A Year to Live, and it's based on Stephen Levine's book, A Year to Live. So I've been living this year, we're a little over halfway through it right now, with this contemplation of what if this was my last year to live. And so a lot of times when I'm going throughout my day, or if something has come up and I need to make a decision on it, I ask myself, do I want this in my last year of my life? If I'm having a conversation with someone and things are getting tight and heated and there's like this angst in it, and someone walks away because they're fed up, or maybe I want to walk away because I am, do I really want to do that? What if this was my last conversation? How can I open my heart? And so many times we get we're frightened, we don't know what to do with those types of moments. But so many times, if we just share our human vulnerability and put words to what we're feeling in that moment, it's actually connecting the two parties together, because both parties are probably feeling a very similar dynamic. So it connects our heart space, allows a little place to rest for a moment and go, let's come back to what's really important here. So I'm finding that is also cultivating this intentional living. At some point in life, each of us here at some point, maybe years ago, maybe yesterday, said, you know what, I'm going to quit drinking. I'm going to quit using because I care enough about my life to allow another's perspective, to see what life would be like without feeling this hookedness or this victimness that is there, and see if that will make a difference in my world. And so we're starting by caring. We're starting by caring. We didn't care about ourselves enough to be able to do that before. And so what a beautiful thing. And there's another, kind of whole thought that if we don't know how to care for ourselves, and what we do when we're caring or putting out caring for others, it's not as full or as rich as if we really know how to care by first starting to cultivate caring for ourselves. And so it's this give and take. Everyone in this world, wants to feel cared for, wants to feel part of, wants to feel that just an underlying sense of belonging and okayness. And so that's what we get to cultivate, through these practices of mindfulness and choosing on a daily basis to not pour the toxins into our brains. And the more we do it, the longer that the more we practice not picking up drink, not acting out on addictive behaviors, the more we kind of step into another path, the more we're cultivating this new way. And then soon and over time, it becomes our default way instead of the old way. And then that just opens us up to so much more calm and ease, which is so wonderful. So, can we day by day, situation by situation, allow ourselves to have these moments of contemplation, first of all, with a sense of gratitude that we've already made changes and made a difference in our own lives, and we've chosen to live lives that are in more authentic relationship with others. And that includes coming together with others of like minds. It includes being fully engaged. It includes being of service. Being of service is a huge thing in our recovery programs. It's a huge thing in offering well-being to the world. So how am I being of service? How can I be of service? I know we have a few more minutes. Frank Ostasaki he has a book, it's called The 5 Invitations. And it is about death and dying, but he has these 5 bullet points of how we can be in service to others going through death difficulties. So I'd just like to share them because this is what opens our hearts. This was what allows our body and heart mind to continue to grow and expand and stay more anchored in the path of serving ours and others' well-beings. So the first, he calls these the 5 precepts of service. The first one is welcome everything and push away nothing. We practice this in our mindfulness practice all the time. When we have thoughts that are going around in our brain, we recognize them, we allow it, we see it, it's there. And we bring our attention back to our breath, and then at some point or another, whatever that was is no longer there, or it's shifted. So welcome everything and push away nothing. And it doesn't mean that we agree or disagree with things that are going on, but we're allowing ourselves to meet whatever's there and to anchor into a foundation of love. Love, he says, is the only thing that can welcome everything. I think that's so beautiful. The second precept of service is bring your whole self to the experience. It's not always about expertise or knowledge or the factual cognitive part of experience, but it's our wholeness, allowing ourselves to bring our fears, to bring our helplessness, confusion, to bring our joy, to bring our happiness, whatever is present, to bring it with us. It's, we are allowing ourselves to be authentic, and we're sharing our human vulnerability. Everybody will experience the feelings and sensations and thoughts, and that we are not unique and singular. We are human. And so bringing our whole self to whatever the experience is, and being able to share that vulnerability kind of creates this empathetic bridge with the other person. And number 3, the third precept, don't wait. Don't wait. Now is the moment, whatever it is. Now is the moment. No matter how difficult, the poison can be turned into a seed of possibility. Don't wait. When we're waiting, we're expecting, we're waiting for the next moment. We miss this moment and this opportunity right now. So being now, like Ram Dass says, be here now. Be here now. Not in the past, not in the future, but what is right in this, immediacy of your life. Be present. So the fourth precept is find a place of rest in the middle of things. So, it's easy to be present in the middle of, you're singing happy birthday to your best friend, right? It's easy to be really present with that. But when things get difficult, when things are labored, when things are challenging, can we have a place that we can rest? Can we find that gap? Can we find a space? Can we allow ourselves the space to rest? And we can. Sometimes it feels, we might, think it's awkward to not like come back with a response or to react. We feel like we need to keep things going and no mas. But it's really important to be able to take a breath, to find that place. And not only in your formal meditation practice, but throughout your day. And in the moment of a heated conversation, it's okay to not try to fill that space. So contemplate, where might you find that place of rest or that gap during your day? And that reminds me of the Viktor Frankl quote that I'll read. I think I paraphrased it before, but he says, between stimulus and response, there is a space. And in that space is our power to choose our response. And in our response lives our growth and our freedom. So that's the potential of the gap, of the space. And then number 5 is cultivate don't know mind. Don't know mind. Allow your mind to be open, to have the sense of wonder, the sense of curiosity. One of the things that has really supported me in practice in my life is to replace judgment with curiosity. Whenever I'm feeling a judgment come up, and it comes up a lot, I go, oh, can I just rest back and get curious about this? Let go of the judgment. Let's just get curious about it. Open the heart, open the mind. Allow myself to not feel like I know everything. Not get caught up in my own story, not get caught up in the story I think is going on in the other person's head, right? We do that so much. Take a break, sit back, allow yourself to not know. Beginner's mind, that's another quote from Suzuki Roshi. The beginner's mind, there are many possibilities, but in the experts, there are few. So we don't have to be a know-it-all. It's good not to be a know-it-all. And we don't have to try to fix everything. If you're the highest person in the work ladder or whatever, you might be that go-to person and feel like you've always got to have the right answer to fix. If you're a mother and you see your child suffering, you might be that want to have this, be compelled to want to make everything okay for your child. It's okay to rest in the don't know mind. And once again, that allows us to be more receptive and more open and more aware of what's going on moment to moment. So those are the 5 service precepts that Frank offers us. And I think we can integrate it into our life at various times. And the bottom line is, in our life, in our practice, in our program of recovery, in our relationships to ourselves and to others, can we continually rest back into this, hopefully the intention to live from a place of love and caring, and knowing that we cannot control outside circumstances, but we can offer something to it. A compassionate response, a joyful response, a kind response, and oh my gosh, this too response, and recognize that it's not our job to change it with this like direct thing, but to open to how can I be part of the solution? And that not only supports your own well-being, but it supports others' well-being too. So that's what I have to offer you this evening. Allowing yourself to really be in the present moment, to live this moment. Allow yourself to kind of make the inquiry, what if this was my first? What if this was my last moment? How do I want to be with that? And to remember to be open to the gap, to rest in the space between everything. That is, we don't have to do the work that comes through that. That will happen. That will happen of its own accord. We're not in charge of that, but we are in charge of inviting the heart and mind to be open and to welcome wisdom and insight. And at the very least, love. So thank you for your kind attention this evening. And if there's anything that anyone would like to share, or if there's any contemplation, we have a few minutes for that. And if there's nothing to share, we can sit in contemplation. Oh, I see Mary. Okay. Can you unmute yourself, Mary?
Hi, Debbie, thank you so much for those 5 precepts of service. I've been struggling with staying present with some difficulties that my 16-year-old granddaughter is presenting to the family. She is struggling with her own mental health, struggling as a 16-year-old can and is, and it's very upsetting. And I'm just aware of wanting to turn away or pretend it's not happening, or be overly responsible for it and want to fix it. So these precepts really remind me about my job to just be present, to my feelings, to the feelings of her mother and father, to whatever is going on with her. So thank you for that. I took notes, and I will keep that close to my heart. Thank you, Debbie.
You're very welcome. I'm so happy there were some seeds here for you to work with. Thank you.
Hi, Debbie.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, I just wanted to say thanks. That was a great lead and share, and having a rough day, so it was a good reminder to stay with it with the bad emotions and not turn away, but to engage them and just let them be. So thanks for the meditation, and it was a great hour. Thanks.
Mhm. You're very welcome. Well, I thank you all for your kind attention this evening once again. And yes, just whatever lands, and wants to carry on and grow within, invite it. And may we always remember that the difficulties are there as seeds of virtue as well. And so we can be with it as long as we need, as long as we need. And we're not doing this alone. That's the wonderful thing. We're not doing this alone. We're doing this together. And what a great thing to be able to sense community. So thank you so much for your practice, and be well.
Thank you, Debbie.
Good night.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Debbie.
Good night.
Beautiful.
Good night, everyone.
All right, thank you, Debbie.
You're welcome.
Care.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Debbie. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Abigail. Nice to see you.
Thanks, Debbie. Bye.
You're
Good night.
welcome. Bye-bye. Good night.
I will end the meeting now then.
Okay, let me just read this one thing. Okay, all right.
You're
Thank
a
you.
horse. You're a horse person? I did not know.
Oh, they were my first spiritual teachers from when I was a little kid,
Oh,
When-
I don't have horses now, but I had horses most of my life and
Mm.
trained and studied dressage. Yes, they were always my teachers.
Yes, absolutely.
They're
Absolutely.
amazing therapists. So.
They are. They teach us everything. And yeah, I have one. I have one now. He's retired, but I tell you, I'm so grateful for them, because always a respite and always a learning. Just got to be present, right? And they tell you what your energy is.
Well, if you're not present, yeah, there's the actual, like when I studied dressage. I mean, it's a lot about mindfulness, and they any little thing they'll catch you on it, So
Yeah.
you start going, oh, look at that, So
I know it. It's so true.
we'll have to talk
once again,
sometime. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, absolutely. Let's do. And thank you so much for this. And does Angela do the editing? She can cut this off.
No, she will. She will.
She will.
She'll hear us
Okay.
like going, yickety, yickety, yickety.
Yay.
Yeah, she will. She will. All right. I'll let her know too. So.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Monica. Thank you. Have a nice
Really
weekend.
blessing. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.